Good.
Jeremy.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Good. What have you got here?
You got that F4 hanging around still?
I do.
I got something to show you.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome.
Right.
All right, Jeremy, what we've got right here are prime examples of a set of four style instruments, the F4, the H4, and the K4. Mandolin, Mandola, Mandocello.
It's like the three bears right here.
That's the three bears. That's the daddy bear and mama and baby bear. And basically, these were the instruments that drove the mandolin quartets, quintets, and mandolin orchestras from the mid-teens. And these are prime examples of 1915, two 1915s, and a 1916 model. It's a very beautiful instruments. The workmanship is absolutely incredible. Double flower pots, the Handel inlaid tuner buttons.
They're so gorgeous.
And just every line, every beautiful scroll feature, the way the points are slightly turned, and it's just beautiful workmanship all the way around.
I just love the rope inlay around that oval hole too. It just has this. It shows the workmanship because that was all hand inlaid, these little pieces of wood, and just really shows the expertise that they had back then. And again, with the inlaid tuner buttons, that's just insane to think they were doing that back in the early teens.
And that is the Handel Art Glass Company that did that in Germany. And basically, at the end of World War I, the company was bombed out of existence, and the Handel tuners were gone until quite recently.
Nowadays, we've got, and we're probably spoiled where we don't think about it because you can do these crazy inlays, but it's all laser and machined stuff. They didn't have the laser to cut either the headstock to receive the pearl or to do the actual pearl pieces that went in there. That was just skilled craftsmanship.
Absolutely, and that's all hand-cut pearl. And as far as the buttons go, I believe that was all hand-cut and inlaid into hot ivory. So it was all very much
Got these
handwork.
little curly cues on there, and we got the close-up details on that. It's just amazing to think how delicate an operation that would be without breaking those little pieces off.
Oh, it's unbelievable. You start looking at the details on Handel tuner buttons, and there's basically 5 different versions. You see stars, flowers, tulips, birds, diamonds, and something that looks like a shamrock, sort of. So there are very many, even on the same instrument. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 different versions of the buttons. So it's the attention to detail is quite amazing. And to see a set from 1915 and 16 like this that are so close, you can see the cello and the mandola are basically both one-piece backs, and they're matching. I believe they're out of the same log. This is late 15 on the cello, and the mandola is early 16.
I believe this is a 14, and this didn't have the one-piece back on it, but still, I remember when this first came in, and you actually did the restoration on this for us, but I remember this coming in thinking about the quality of that maple on it, that tiger striping on it.
Well, and the pride of craftsmanship. You know, when you see instruments of this age, and they're still more than just playable, they're more than just collector's items that are sitting in a case someplace, but you know, they still sound great. You were saying, I mean, you know, it's the cello voice and the mandolin orchestra, and that's the violin voice and the viola voice.
And for people that aren't familiar with the tuning of these, this is basically an octave of a mandola. So you tune down to a C on this, and that's an octave lower.
Right. This is viola tuning. So violin tuning, E-A-D-G, viola tuning, A-D-G-C, a fifth lower than the mandolin, and then this is an octave below the mandola.
Did they have octave mandolins in the same period?
There were very few, but there were a couple, and they were, you know, of course, Gibson has always been so innovative as far as all the instruments. You know, you see 10-string versions of mandolins, and of course the mandoviola, the tenor lute, which was a very short run of instruments in that Lloyd Loar period. But you know, it all comes from Orville Gibson's innovation, and the innovation never stopped.
And I think that probably originated with Orville actually being a performer himself. I saw there's a book with a lot of newspaper articles, and it was talking about the extraordinaire of Orville as a musician, playing harp guitar, playing harp itself, playing a mandolin. He was a multi-instrumentalist, and everyone in that era considered him top of the musicians that they had on staff. And back then, it's so cool to see some of these photos of mandolin orchestras where every instrument in the orchestra was a mandolin of some sort. They had the piccolo or the real small mandolin to the standard mandolin, Mandocellos, even a mando bass.
Right.
The entire orchestra was all mandolin instruments.
Right.
And you were saying that basically started in the late 1800s all the way through World War I?
Absolutely. And, the innovation never stopped. Whether it be the Mandola with Orville Gibson or the Mandocellos. The later version of the Mandocello was the first version of a guitar-shaped body with F-holes. And then the L5 followed that.
Yeah.
So it was actually a mandolin instrument before it was the famous jazz-driving L5 orchestra-driving guitar. And as a good friend of mine and very prolific collector himself, Tim May, said that everything Gibson built back then was basically a mandolin. It's like the stylo guitar. It had a scroll. The harp guitars had a gigantic scroll.
Yeah.
So it all came from that first innovation of implementing violin technology into the mandolins and guitars.
Well, David, I really appreciate you bringing these by. It's so awesome to see the entire family here of the fours. And I'm going to grab John, see if you can grab one of these instruments and let's play a song together.
Yeah, sounds great.
Hey, we really appreciate you guys watching that video. It was my favorite one we've made so far. We've done hundreds of videos, and that was the best one.
It was.
And the next one's going to be even better. If you'd like to see that, be sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, the more you comment and interact below, the more the YouTube algorithms pick it up and start pushing it out to other people, like-minded people.
Algorithms?
Algorithms, they're everywhere. They permeate the internet, and YouTube's got one, and it watches our videos, and it sees how much you comment, and then it pushes us to other people like you. And we want everyone to experience the Acoustic Shop world, where we talk about instruments, we do reviews, we got some fun videos coming up. We thank you guys so much for being a part of it, and we'll see you in the next video.